Are you Mandalorian?
I'm a simple man making his way through the galaxy, like my father before me.
3 Men and a Baby Yoda podcast. Matthew, Dylan, Callan.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 42 of the 3 Men and a Baby Yoda podcast. We are back. It's been a while. Had many delays. I've been sleep training. We've been sick. We've been lazy. Had shit on, but we are finally back together. And we've also had technical issues. This new squad class platform. We had a very false start, but we are back. And I'm proud to see my two buddies, Callan Gardner and Dylan Chikalis. Callan, how are you, my friend?
Matty, I haven't heard your voice in a hot minute in that intro. It's been it's been a little while. I think it's been I was trying to calculate it today, like 6 weeks for me, because I think you guys did one without me. But far out, it has been a hot minute. I've been that old 3 Men and a Baby Yoda. Man, my baby Yodas have been sick, painful. It's been all of the above. It's been one of us every week. So it's been pretty funny to finally get to get in front of the camera. I don't know. Dill's come straight off a bloody plane, basically turned the computer on. Yep. So no, it's good to be back in a perfect time, and we start ramping up into some pretty serious Star Wars weeks. So I'm good. I'm rested.
That's good to hear, mate. That's good. And Dill, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, as Cal said, been on a little bit of a week holiday in Queensland with the folks, and get off the plane, and then, my partner's fallen sick for the past few days, and we get home, she does a rat test, COVID positive. Oh no.
No.
So I'm on the lookout, and I'll have to go get tested tomorrow, but I have a feeling I'll be okay, given I've just had it so recently. But symptoms.
It's funny you mentioned.
Yeah.
It's funny you mention your partner, because once again.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Here we go.
Dylan was hoping this wasn't
Dylan has got Endor right in the Death Star's crosshairs yet again. So I'll paint the picture for you. I think it was on Tuesday. It was her birthday, and Dylan's written, "Dear Mia, I love you to the Endor remnants and back."
That's on Facebook, right?
The remnants of Endor and back, I said.
Oh my God.
But I was so confident. I was like, this is a home run. This will get me,
And so I as I do, I messaged him going, "Endors aren't remnants, you goose. It's a whole planet."
And I come back with full confidence. I'm like,
and Dylan replied,
it was blown
instantly,
up, bro.
I'm like, "No, that was Alderaan, you idiot." And he's like, "Oh, fuck's sake." and I'm like, he's like, "Didn't we talk about this once?" And I'm like, "Yes, fake news on Endor."
Isn't that it might be the third time.
I think it might be. And you know what? I actually went to I can't change, I posted some stuff on Instagram stories, and you can't edit them. But I went into the Facebook post, and I edited it right. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I fixed it up. Thanks, Matty. I screenshot it and sent it to Matt, and he's like, "Alderaan has 2 A's, you idiot." I'm like, fuck. So I have to go again.
Endor Remnants, that's so dumb, dude. That's so fucking dumb.
They're fucking Ewoks, man.
You literally run a Star Wars podcast, and they shoot one of the main scenes.
I've lost all credibility with not only anyone who listens to us, the Star Wars community, but also the casuals on my Facebook and Instagram feeds.
Everyone gone, look at this dickhead. He's
oh God,
podcast
classic Dylan. Always trying to blow up Endor, and yes, you seem to be getting your Alderaans and your Endors mixed up. But what else has been happening in your world, Dylan? What have you been doing since the Kenobi finale? I mean, we haven't really had a chance to bask in the glow that was the finale, so we'll go into it tonight.
We missed the pod wave for that.
We missed the window, but I'm sure there are people who'd love to check in and hear about what we thought about the last episode. But what have you been doing the last 6 weeks still?
You know what? The season finale was, I loved it, and I've just been going back and watching so much of like your fan films
Yeah.
from Star Wars, you know, and seeing how people's interpretations of the episode and, you know, there's certain moments in the episode that they've done their little twists on. And I think I've brought this up between you both around like the different musical takes and orchestras. It's just so cool, you know, it's just amazing. So there's been a bit of that. And just another quick note, when I was in Queensland, I've walked out of Dreamworld, and there's the Star Wars Lego. I think I sent you guys a video of just a wall of awesomeness. I
Did you get anything?
I was so ready to dump some money, but I am broke as batshit, so I unfortunately had to miss out.
A new house will do it to you. It was one of those. I haven't watched the finale fully again twice. I've watched it probably like 3 times, but real sporadically. Kids will do that to you, but it's I got an overwhelming sense of just I really, really loved it, and then there's a lot of negativity online. There's so many it's like there's 2 camps.
Yeah,
it's very funny. It's very funny that people just look for nothing but they just look for faults. I saw a lot of that, but a couple of those musical things you sent were pretty epic. A lot of the pictures and all the art drawn and stuff. Yeah, the anime drawn out of it, pretty sick. Like what if? And then it looks sick.
Which after watching the episode, did either of you go back and watch Twilight of the Apprentice or Twin Sons again, just to sort of compare?
No,
Matt.
No, I didn't. No, I mean, I know Brinkhat watched like A New Hope, like the straight afterwards, just to get up to speed. But no, I haven't watched anything else really. But I have watched them again, like multiple times. So it has been definitely something worth. It's definitely got that good rewatch value, I think. But let's go into the episode. Let's just go to our favourite bits. We'll go through it and just talk about some of those amazing moments. And then we'll give it some bit of a rating, and let's review the series of Kenobi overall. So I mean, it starts off, you know, Reva's back on the hunt, straight to Tatooine. Of course, Steele is back in this in this scene. He's managed to, and I've heard from him, and it's quite funny. Like, he sort of knew where to be at the time, and he sort of managed to get in the scene with Luke Skywalker and just hover around the background just at the right time. But you know, he was just absolutely, you know, loving life because you know, he had no idea what was going to happen or what was going to come out. But he's done very well, the old Steele. He's episode 1 and episode 6. So, but no, it was good to get back to Tatooine. And what did you think of the whole Reva arc, Dill?
Yeah, I think it was good. You know, there's the classic, and I think we might have said this in our half season point. There was definitely the redemption arc that I think we all were talking about, which was cool. Do I think that it was the right place to put the Inquisitors as, I guess, a focal point for a series based on what was expected to be Kenobi? Probably not. But at the same time, would there have been enough substance alone to fill out the whole series of, you know, 6, let's say, hour-long episodes? So I think you can have 2 takes on it. You can take it for what it is and enjoy it, or you can be like, where's Kenobi? All I want to see is Kenobi. So I think I've taken some time to think about that, and once I've been able to separate 2 stories and essentially think of it as if there's 2 stories that are then converging in the end, I really enjoyed it. So it's painted a lot more of a picture around the Inquisitors than I think a lot of people knew before.
Well, it's trying to also give more storyline to the Anakin and like Darth Vader, and it's sort of, I saw it straight away as 100% 2 story arcs. Yeah. I get what you're saying with the Kenobi piece. I think I loved that the Inquisitors were involved, that they were in that. It was I said the whole way along, she's such a bad bitch, man. She even got better for me. I wish she didn't fucking do the old. I didn't expect the old through the old heart type, stomach type thing, but it was. Man, she was sick.
But yeah, I think as well as like adding to what I've just said, although there were those two story arcs, it did very, very much feel like they both were as meaningful to one another. It wasn't like they were just two separate, came together at the end and it was like, wow, they sort of added the layers to each other that, as you said, Cal, just built on one another for, a great climax and a great ending. Yeah. What about you, man?
Well, it was good that they brought it to Tatooine because, I mean, I was wondering what's going on with the whole Bonnie Peace and Joel Edgerton. Sure, all the commentary was that he was such an amazing actor and, she was very big on the scene as well. And we finally got to see, Owen and Beru be the badass bitches that they are and sort of defend the home and
sick,
sort of the dynamic as well. Like, you could see that Beru was sort of, kind of not all for Ben, but a bit warmer towards Ben than Owen was. And, it was a good little dual arc going off. Because, I mean, that's the thing, like, originally, and then obviously this has come out in the post-news since we last watched it, but this was supposed to be a trilogy of movies. And how do you think that would have gone if, basically they're saying if Solo hadn't been such a bad performing movie, this could have been a three-part trilogy.
I don't know how I feel about that. Because if you think of
That's
watching
a big deal.
episodes 1 and 2, episodes 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6, let's say, are we thinking that they're released every couple of years, every year? Like, I think it would depend on how much time is passed between each release. Because I don't think there's enough to keep me hooked to be like in a week.
If that was 3 movies, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, like in a week by week episodic format, that was just the perfect amount of time to build hype between each episode. Whereas if they exactly how they had it there, but in 2 episode movies, I don't think I'd be there to watch it.
Well, we've got a podcast about Star Wars, but
I mean,
I know what you're saying. I reckon there was enough. This TV series allowed it to be a lot of detail, little things that we wouldn't have probably seen, and then I think they just would have added a bunch of bullshit if you did a movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I loved those TV series.
I think we've said it before, right? TV series is, I think, the way to go with storytelling for Star Wars as a whole now. Like, off the back of the success of The Mandalorian and, how that's all gone and, all these other shows that are on their way, I think it's quite clear that films aren't the way to go.
Keep films for big new sagas?
Yeah.
Kicking off a new saga or something?
And I think Matt made this comment in a previous pod, not a whole lot of people want to go to the cinema anymore. Like massive movie releases nowadays, I'm going to the cinemas quite often still because it's one of my favorite things to do, but there's just not as many people in the cinema as there are anymore. Like Thor Love and Thunder a few weeks back, on release day, there was still probably 25% of the cinema left empty. And, that's pretty unheard of for a Marvel film, I find, but...
No, I agree. There was definitely been a drop-off in cinemas. Like, I don't know, like COVID seems to be, it's not gone, and it seems to be more rife than ever, if anything.
Yeah.
It's just that there's no impending lockdown. So, but yeah, I'm a bit uneasy about being in open spaces or, heavily in dense areas with lots of people, like, because it's back. It's it just seems to be going over and over and over with this thing again.
Yeah.
And like you said, I mean, look at you, mate. I mean, is this Mia's first COVID experience?
So everyone in our family, both my family, her family, have had it, except for Mia, who's obviously just copped it now. So yeah, she's sort of she was the last stand.
Wow, The Last Jedi.
Order 66, come for
everyone from Celebration got it, right? And I didn't get it, but I got this 4 to 5 week flu that just doesn't piss off.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure it was fueled by my son's daycare germs and whatever. So,
man, your kid, I feel so bad. That poor thing. He's just copped it, sickness after sickness.
That's what happens in daycare.
Yeah.
it is,
My
mate.
kids are sick again. Again, they went back to school for 4 days and now they're sick
Far
again.
out.
Yeah.
Well, stop telling your kids to kiss other kids, yeah?
Dude, I haven't even seen anyone. It's crazy, man.
Crazy ride, mate. Daycare is just a cesspit of friggin', I don't know, everything. RSV, gastro, we've had it all. Anyway, we move on. Now, I didn't recognize this the first time I saw this, but the holster that Obi-Wan gives to Leia,
Yeah.
that's Tala's holster from the woman that died who exploded with the thermal
Bro, how did
detonator.
you
you
not
not get that?
recognise that?
I don't know.
that was
You
like-
see, Matt, you
I
see
know.
a droid that's fucking facing the wrong way at the
Yeah.
in the background. How do you not get that?
Well, I think I was a little bit mesmerized by everything that was going on, and I was like, "Oh, he's."
I love that scene. That was an
child.
awesome scene.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, that was so wholesome.
I only noticed that the second time. Okay, I was on Gotal Watch or something,
That's the word I was looking for. I was thinking, fucking, what's that thing that he looks for every episode?
That was good. I liked that scene. Just side note, the music. Can I get a music check? How you liked it? What thoughts on the music of the overall series? Oh, here comes negative deal. Here we go.
No, it was good. I think after seeing the fan stuff of whether
The
it was Duel of
rejigs.
the Fates or the re-edits, I definitely think that it was left out for a reason, right? Because there's that moment right at the end where Vader's sitting on his throne where the Imperial March plays for that just few seconds, and it's fucking epic. So,
I think you're right. I think basically because they didn't do it for so long, and we wanted it so badly. Because we actually got it at the beginning of this episode, the asteroid chase scene, in Empire. So it was good to have that, but then we got ebbs and flows of it, and once we got it, it was just like yes,
Yeah,
so
I
good.
agree with that. I did feel it at the end. The closing scenes were
but
pretty
also,
sick.
I also thought a little bit more on it, and I was thinking, was it that he didn't truly become Vader?
Until that moment, yes.
Yes. Is it that was that sort of the big? Okay, now he's really.
Yeah, you're probably
on
onto
his
something there.
path.
We'll get on. We'll get onto that scene in just a bit.
I loved the music, so everyone can go suck it.
Now, Roken.
I was
Are we going to see him? I mean,
He's so good.
Perfect placement. I'm just getting started. I'll see you in Andor. I'll see you in Ahsoka. I'm going to catch up with Mon Mothma. What's happening? He's back for more. And how did you find him as a character, Dill?
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was the perfect, serious, but badass. Truly cares for the good, and he's got a path, and no one's going to get in his way. So I think he's a badass dude.
I really liked him, but I was saying to Dill before, I didn't even know his name until talking to you guys, and I keep just thinking of him as Ice Cube's son, and that's all I see. But he was really good. He'll be in Endor for sure.
Well, I think that's what they're insinuating, that he's going to be in the next few series.
He's solid. Yeah, he was good. That is a pretty sweet pilot by the sounds of it.
Now, I've got a question for you. Now, Obi-Wan is obviously, they break away. There's two ships. What's going on with the tractor beam? Is that just not? Is that not a thing in this series?
No, I don't think that
Out of range.
I don't even think it was that. I think he's so hyper focused on Kenobi that it's just like and Matt, you made a comment in why not send the tires out or anything. This is Vader's fight, and he's gonna find and get him.
I didn't even think about that. That's so true, though. Just tractor beam that
What?
bitch. It must have been out of sight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I think
Tractor beam
there's
that
other
didn't have
motives.
Didn't have that upgraded tractor beam model.
Maybe.
It is interesting he didn't get in the old TIE fighters and be like, I'll chase this bastard.
No. Because I think I'm of the opinion that there was other things at play. But yeah, you're right. Like, why not just tractor beam him, capture him, and there you go.
So, how did you find this rematch of the century on this very dimly lit planet? It's a bit dark, isn't it?
I didn't think it was dark until you told me later it was dark, and now I can't unsee the dark.
It's so fucking dark. I saw this me and Frosty, we've got a bit of a joke going on, and it says, "Turn on the fucking lights, Deborah." Because it's so dark. And like you have to really look hard. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just I think
When I watched it, I just thought it was the room I was in because it was dark. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't really thinking.
But it just makes the lightsabers so much more epic.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Like the light and the light in the dark, it just they're at their prime, you know? Really brings out the light and the bad.
Oh, definitely it does. So I mean, how did you find the fight, Cal?
Yeah, that was pretty fucking cool when that was when the suit broke, wasn't it?
Well, that was towards the end, but
that was I think the sabers looked probably the best they've looked ever.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And like I said, I didn't know it was dark until you told me later. But that was one of the scenes I rewatched. I've watched that a few times. I felt that's when I really felt Kenobi was like finally the Kenobi the strength was there, and it was sick. The fights were well done. They weren't overboard. They weren't like super like just crazy bullshit flipping around or none of that stuff. It was just a good quality. And you know, and he's not. He sort of said it before, Dill. He's not fully Darth Vader yet. Do you know what I mean? Like he's not. Yes, he's strong, but he's not. You know, massively overpowering. And although he did pull a spaceship from fucking midair, but it was just still Kenobi, and there was a lot of emotion in it, which was sick. I really enjoyed it. It was. I think it did episode 3 justice with, and I think it brought it together really well.
Did you think that it? Like my view on the fight after watching it a few more times was this during the fight, like Obi-Wan is just hoping that he can knock some sense into Anakin, right? So I think it was up until towards the end of the fight, or whether in that moment where he's Matt, I'm sure we have a joke about something to do with high ground coming, but as he's under all that rubble and awakens his fucking inner Super Saiyan and just becomes the Kenobi that you've just mentioned.
Yeah.
I think it was at that point he realized, I've got to turn this shit up, and he's starts doing some Jedi mind trick and convinces himself that he's psychic all of a sudden, and like a Pokemon just starts throwing all these fucking boulders at Vader, which I thought was a bit goofy at first, but it grew on me.
Well, no, I mean, the high ground thing, I'm trying to find it here because it was so good. But it was like, it was this meme that with Vader and this teacher and saying, what's the biggest risk when fighting Obi-Wan Kenobi? And Vader goes, the high ground. And then the teacher goes to Vader, it's like, so what did you do when you had the high ground against Kenobi? I threw the high ground at Kenobi. And the teacher's like, and so what did Obi-Wan have after you threw the high ground at him? And Vader's like, the high ground. And that's why you lost.
Yeah, right. That's actually pretty sick. That's a pretty good meme.
Oh, it's such a funny meme. I'm trying to find it here. It's what me and Brinket call the Sarlacc of memes that we send each other, which is just
I can only imagine what that chat looks like.
It's just,
Jesus.
It's just never ending. That's why it's been called the Sarlacc for about 1,000 years. So now we've been going through that, but like you said, Dill, like you definitely got Twilight of the Apprentice feels like when Anakin or
The
Vader
opening
said,
of the fight.
"Then you will die," and just no, it was really good. And I love that Anakin has said he watched Rebels and he saw all these extra bits and scenes and everything, and it gave it extra depth as a character.
Yeah.
No, it was very Twilight of the Apprenticey, which was good. How'd you find the fight back on Tatooine between Reva and the Lars family?
Cow.
I didn't expect it to happen. Through me, but it was you could tell. Like, I was glad she wasn't like fighting a perfect. I'm all sweet. I've had a few of those Power Rangers shove a few things in me or something. You know what I mean? Like,
She was definitely under duress. Like,
exactly. I thought that was good, and you could just see that she was just thinking hard at the pain. Like, what she didn't really. I felt like she did 100%. She knew something and she had to do, but she just wasn't all with it, and she was struggling with the emotions, which is, I felt that she played it really well. I thought even though she was a mad bitch the whole way through, I think there was a little change of character, but she did really well. It was good. I liked it.
Well, you really got to see the dialogue. You love him like one of your own, and everything. You see the love that between Owen and Baruch they have for Luke, and I love how his head was out of the room when she came through with the lightsaber, so he's never seen a lightsaber. They're keeping everything intact, and the cannons being protected, and all the haters. I'm sure they're fine. They're looking to pick the nits, but there wasn't a lot. They got a lot right in this episode. I mean, the one thing, Reva is a giant plot holder. I mean, for Obi-Wan to just go, they obviously. She can't go through with it. She doesn't. And then to let her just be, like, she's a little bit dangerous to just leave that secret behind,
Yeah. I thought about this as well, because would that not be playing in the back of his mind going forward of, she could potentially come back, and if he's going to be leaving Luke with Owen for the foreseeable future, like as you said, that's a huge risk, right? But
yeah, it's a bit of
yeah, I agree. It's definitely some sort of plot hole that either we need a bit more.
There's got to be something coming.
Yeah, there's got to be something with Reva coming that
it actually doesn't make sense for it not, unless there's something else coming up.
Well, I mean, either they're going to go back and give her a story, or is there going to be a season 2? Like, it's very cryptically weird. Like, Kathleen Kennedy go out and saying, "Oh, if the fans want it, maybe we'll do it." Like, of course we want it. I'd watch Danny DeVito playing Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like,
well, we saw like both Ewan and Hayden say that they'd love to continue doing it, whether it was soon or every now and then. So that's something as well. Like, you've got everyone wanting to do it. It's just a matter of, I think, behind the scenes. Obviously, they just need to think about how they need to set it up.
Well, I mean, what if we got a Ewan Hayden flashback Clone Wars scene in Ahsoka?
Oh man, I would love to see a live action Clone Wars, like even just with the costumes. Oh man,
yeah, that'd be sick.
Like, that's amazing, because I mean, they can't just have this Vader Kenobi fight again. Like, you have to leave it where it is. Everything's been inserted nicely.
Yep.
It hasn't changed anything. In fact, if it's enhanced a lot of things, and they really wrap things up. I mean, let's move on to, we move back to, we get to Alderaan, and they have this amazing scene. I mean, you're a father, Cal, and you saw that, like, that dialogue between Kenobi and Leia, and he's just going, your father was this and your mother was that.
It's my favorite scene, the whole thing.
You have all these things. They have this incredible hug. I'm just like tearing up here.
The music was perfect.
Oh my god, it was just so
unreal.
That's what made me love the music. Like, that's what brought it home for me.
And
scene.
I'm like, because I'm watching it, I'm the whole Kenobi Vader fight scene. I'm like losing serotonin. I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. And then, there were bits where I thought Qui-Gon was going to show up. I'm like, come on. And then no, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm holding back tears. And then that whole, like, Leia Obi-Wan floored me on Alderaan. And they sort of like, they just said, look, we have to be careful. Don't mention that we know each other. Like, really just like keeping everything just perfect. Leave a cold message on R2 and A New Hope, and we'll be sweet. It was just pretty special. And then just when you think you've had your fair share, Palpatine shows up, and they have that dialogue. And this is the bit interesting. Like, it seems that Palpatine doesn't give a shit about Kenobi being out there. Vader's like, oh, I'm going to fucking hunt him like to the ends of the earth. And Palp's like, nah, mate, just stay focused. We got other stuff to do. And I think because Palpatine sees Kenobi as the last sort of flame of Anakin, and by
absolutely
keeping that on front of mind, it's the biggest risk for him, like, to turn back. So
because it's ironically it's Vader's biggest weakness is Obi-Wan. And he's talking about how, like, Anakin or Vader, however you see him at this point, is so adamant that Anakin was weak and Obi-Wan is weak. And he needs to get over this to truly become this next stage, but he's still so hyper fixated on it that I don't think he'll ever truly focus until, so on and so forth. We see what happens in the later movies, but
But no, when the Imperial March came out, that was the sort of like, okay, he's Darth Vader 100% now.
Yep.
Focused on the Empire, Hunting is a side mission, but if the probes find something, but yeah. And then I didn't see this coming. Wait.
Well, are we just going to skip over the whole like end of the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan?
Okay, yeah. I mean, where Obi-Wan apologizes and
man, that fucking got me deep. I was tearing up in that moment, and the
voices, the multiple voices, that was crazy.
And if you pay attention to the purposeful lighting of the lightsabers in that moment, like as Anakin's talking about, or Obi-Wan is apologizing, and I'm sorry, Anakin, I'm sorry for everything, and you see the blue from the lightsaber coming, and, it's almost like oh shit, are we gonna have like a moment here? And then Anakin, he's saying that he's, Anakin's dead, I'm what's left. And then when he starts going into like, I'm going to destroy you and whatever, the red from the lightsaber just engulfs his face. And that was so epic. And man, that got me deep.
No, well, it's fun. There was a very deep, I'm not sure how that Deborah Chow played into this, but, there was Obi-Wan sliced Vader's right side. You got to see the right side of his face, and Ahsoka got the left side of the face, but only his son was able to take the whole mask off. Wow. Some deep Star Wars stuff.
Well, I did not even think of that.
Mate, you didn't even realize it was dark, so of course you're not getting that.
That's pretty cool.
That was cool. I like that bit. And I'm sure, they knew. They're like... But, that's pretty awesome.
Good call to go back to that, Dill. Good call.
Good call. Thank you, Dill.
No problem, mate. No problem.
Now, this is the bit that even my wife, who I watched it with at the same time, and, well, I sort of watched it with her. I was sort of 2 meters adjacent and, like, fixated on the TV like a paralyzed individual, stun mullet mode. The hello there.
I did not see it coming, actually.
No. Even
it got me.
My wife was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I was just like, yeah, sure is.
And it was such a, like, do you feel like it was over, like, it was amazing, right?
It was so
like,
good.
Hello there.
It wasn't.
He nailed it.
It was so, and it was more Alec Guinnessy than Ewan.
Yes.
It was like, I think there was a bit of yeah, it was just so good.
The problem with the last few scenes is all I was thinking of is where's Qui-Gon, where's Qui-Gon, where's Qui-Gon, where's Qui-Gon, and I'm just going, okay, not there. And it's all I was thinking. I'm like, surely now, and then the cruiserway in the and then I'm like, oh, he's not even going to show up, because it was sort of. It went to him, and I went, "Are you fucking joking?" And then obviously. Yeah, very short, but that was sick.
on the old space llama.
It was just you called his camel.
His camel.
It was such a good
camel.
finish though, like to have Qui-Gon Jinn come at the end because I wanted him so badly, and
we actually got to see him because like weren't us and many other people speculating that we wouldn't actually see Qui-Gon, it would just be his voice.
The voice.
Turbo thought it was just going to be a voice, yes, just
Sucked
a voice.
in Turbo.
Yeah, Turbo was wrong. He's been avoiding the podcast just to
It's not hard to avoid it when you don't do it in 6 weeks, mate.
that is true, but no, like no, he conceded, so that was good. But yeah, it was such a perfect finish, and I mean the good thing about this look, they're definitely leaving it open for season 2 because this whole I don't need to be here. All he needs is you, Owen. I can go I can leave Tatooine again and set up a rebellion, and I just need to be back here in 10 years' time now. So there's definite potential for more. It's just how they do it.
I don't, and sorry to backtrack just a moment back to Qui-Gon. Are we under the agreement that the reason he was finally able to see Qui-Gon now is because he himself has closure? You know, that he's accepted that Anakin's gone. And, you know, Luke's safe and Leia's safe.
I think it was probably the missing part to connect to that side of the Force.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, yeah.
You know,
he's
too much emotion and everything else.
Plus also that little awakening he had in the rocks and everything.
Yeah, in the rocks, yeah.
He was having, he very Harry Potter.
Because he abandoned the Force, or, you know, his trust in it.
He turned it
earlier
off.
in the series, turned it off, his whole connection. And
Well, he didn't turn off the truck. He just had to hide it to avoid detection. But no, it was pretty special. And I mean, how would you rate the finale, Dill? Give us. What do you give it out of 10? The finale.
Can I give it a 10?
Sure can.
I think I will. You know, I think I'll give it a 10.
Even with the tractor beam issues.
I think it was intentionally left out. I don't have any issues with the episode.
They
For once, I'm giving it
didn't
full
use the
marks.
tractor beam in the shirt that Cal's wearing either. I bought that shirt for you too.
Man, I'm still waiting on my Celebrations merch. What's going on there?
It's here. It's literally right in front of me. Right
There we go.
here. It's just you got to come pick it up, you lazy sod.
Mate, you've been coming into the office, you know?
Yeah, I told you the day I'm not carrying a Kenobi poster into the office. Sitting right here.
Wow, look at it.
It's got raised font on it too. It's Kevin Garbutt from the Scruffies is selling for 25 quid on eBay. I'm sitting on a gold mine here. I got 6 posters. I got Steel Saunders' Ajax Citizen right here.
Oh, are we not going to talk about how Rex was also in like 3 episodes?
No, he was in 2.
2, right?
Corey and Aubrey and Rexon around and Steele were all in the final episode. That was so sick for them.
That was so mad.
Genuinely stoked for them. That's why Rexon
now-
around stopped for so long. I just thought he gave into the haters on Twitter or something.
Me too. And then now it's, what is it? The blue hat guy?
The blue hat crew, yeah. That's pretty funny. Cal, what's your rating, mate?
I might give it a 9.5. It's not
No, you can't.
perfect.
Why? Give me a reason why it wasn't 10.
One run scene, really, the run scene with Leia, with those at the start of the series.
No, the finale episode.
Yeah, with
I
just
thought we're doing
finale.
overall.
No.
Yeah, so finale and then we'll do an overall. Because, I mean, I feel like
Okay.
I'm
Finale,
a 10.
yeah, it's a 10. Yeah, I loved it.
And it sort of peels over all the cracks from the.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think 1 and 2 were so good. 3 and 4 were relatively medium, weak, but okay. And 5 was so good with the flashback on Coruscant and Hayden being the 40-year-old apprentice. And
Year-old princess.
oh my god, there's literally the memes were so good. They had the 40-year-old virgin. They just put his face on it,
Yeah.
and it's in the 40-year-old apprentice. And then 6 was just was so good. It was perfect. Like,
Yeah.
great series. Awesome work.
It was really good, I think. And then it gets me hyped for Andor coming up. I think Andor is going to be a silent achiever.
Wait. So are we all saying 10 for the episode?
For the episode, 9.5 overall for me.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, 9.5. 9.5 overall?
Yeah.
Oh. So the runt scene is your only down...
There's a couple, but that was, and I don't like being picky with Star Wars, but let's just say for a perfect, you've already
it wasn't
given away
perfect.
perfect.
I'd say 9 out of 10. I'm happy with 9. High distinction.
I've got to be the one that anchors us, right? So let's just be an 8.5, 8.7.
You anchor us in more ways than one.
Yeah. No, fucking Alderaan, Endor, Jesus.
Actually, the only thing anchoring us right now is my shitty Wi-Fi. We've had 3 false starts, but I think I've got it under control.
Mate, we had a potential Frosty guest when we attempted this a few weeks ago, and your Wi-Fi said nope.
No, computer says no. Now, Dylan, are you okay, mate? I just wanted to check in because the Knights of the Old Republic is all but looking dead, mate.
Oh no!
3 years in, and they've decided that the direction is not where it should be. The resources are too much, and it's delayed indefinitely, which is
I was about to say it's not just put on hold; it's put on indefinite hold. So that's literally the lightsaber in the coffin,
pretty much.
See you later.
That's the lightsaber in the Inquisitor meeting room gone. Good pickup.
Oh man!
Yeah, didn't a couple of people get fired?
Yeah. Are we going to skip over that as well?
Skip over what?
The meeting room. No, did we discuss this?
Yeah, we did. You picked up on that, and the Scruffy's boys couldn't believe it.
That's right.
So they didn't believe us, and then anyway.
But yes, I'm very, 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 very upset that that's the case. But at the same time,
they fired the lead storyteller or something.
Well, the art director and
someone else.
Yeah, mate, it's not looking
the
good.
game's art and design director earlier in the month.
But given that I wasn't going to play it anyway, I'm not too fussed.
It'd be a biggie. It'll come back. They can't just not do that. That'll be a biggie.
We'll see. But, mate, things are happening on the Star Wars front. If you look at the last 6 weeks, there's actually a lot happened if you condense it into one podcast episode. But the Acolyte looks like it's moving forward. It's Amandla Steenberg has been cast, which is very exciting. And,
Fuck, you could not have butchered that anymore.
Me?
Amandla Steenberg.
That's her name.
Yeah, okay. No. I think you said Steinberg.
No, Steenberg.
No, mate. Yeah, Steven Steinberg.
Is it Stenberg, is it?
It's STNBERG.
Maybe the E is German. Okay, fine. I got the Amandla. Okay, she's got some weird fucking name.
Look, that was well done.
And I got the second half of her name. I just made her Jewish, all right? Anyway, actually, she might be Jewish. 31st of July. 1 month out from Andor. How excited are we?
Oh, I thought you were saying 31st of July next year. That Acolyte's coming out. I was like, what?
Andor comes out 31st of August or 30th of August.
Yeah, a month away.
1 month away.
Fuck, that's actually crazy. I don't even.
There's words we might get a trailer next week.
It was only until today that I realised that Andor was actually coming. It completely left my brain. Mm-hmm. And then, when we discussed earlier, I'm like, holy shit.
It's cool that you already know there's 2 seasons. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're having not a weird format, but the first 12 episodes, it's 24 episodes. It's going to be long. First 12 episode is 1 year. And then in season 2, it is 4 years over 3 episodes per year. And it'll end at the beginning of Rogue One.
Oh,
your favourite movie.
Good. So good.
Hold on. Fuck, my brain did not keep up then.
Okay, so...
Come on, Deal.
Okay, Deal. If today's 2022, right? Episode 1 of Andor will be in 2018. Episodes 1 to 12 will be 2018. Episodes 13 to 15 will be 2019, 16 to, 2020, 2021, 2022. So
I get it.
in season 2, 4 years will be split over 12 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
That's
a cool format.
How are they going to do that? That's a bit weird for me.
Okay, well, I'm sure your brain can wrap around the mathematics and the timing. I'll just do 1 year worth of it'll be
Rebellion stuff.
exactly leading up to Rogue One. So
It's pretty cool.
and mate, we are only 2 months away from the Bad Batch season 2.
I'm actually really looking forward to
Me
Bad
too.
Batch.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to
I
it.
rewatched
After
it.
seeing that trailer,
I rewatched it recently. Oh, not recently. Maybe just before Celebration. I enjoyed it. I liked it. It's better when you watch it all as a whole. When you're just getting one 20-minute cartoon or 25 minutes and then that's it. Like, I'm like, well, I want more. I mean, I'm not as greedy as Callan, but
I need Star Wars now.
So we'll have Andor and Bad Batch same time.
concurrently, yeah.
Oh, pod content. Look at that.
Mate,
we gotta fucking record.
There's been so much content, but I mean, did you watch any of Miss Marvel?
Who the fuck wants to watch Miss Marvel? Sorry for anyone who does.
I know.
I have zero interest in that, mate.
I know. I haven't finished Hawkeye. I didn't watch Miss Marvel. Was there another one in between
You're not missing out on Hawkeye, trust me.
Is She-Hulk going to be good?
Oh, fuck. You know what? It kind of looks all right.
Okay.
It looks a bit funny, but...
Okay, I'll give that one a go. But the one thing you should watch is this new ILM documentary that's just dropped. Six episodes. It's the history of ILM. It's on Disney Plus. I got bank holiday tomorrow. I'm going to watch all 6 episodes if I can. Kids at daycare, wife's working. I don't have to work. This is my day. I'm going to watch
that's a good idea.
6 episodes of this. I'm looking
I
forward
might
to
watch
it.
one tonight.
And should be a goodie. Mate, we are back. We're not going to be taking 6 weeks off. We'll be back a lot sooner than this, but it's been good to catch up. I look forward and we'll look to do an episode next week. Yes?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yes.
Let's do it back to back.
Looking forward to it, guys. Good to see you all, and I will see you all very soon. May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with all of us.